Making the headlines, Governor Soludo commends contributions of Bishop Nwokolo to work of evangelism. Empowerment training for widows, single mothers, and in AWKA. Federal government partners World Bank, French Development Agency on rural road projects. Germany plans to limit use of natural gas for electricity production. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround and maintenance of the ANAMBRA state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Chidim Orangwa. Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has felicitated with Anglican Bishop Diocese on the Niger, Right Reverend Owen Nwokolo, on his 55th birthday. In a release signed by his press secretary, Mr. Christian Aburime, Governor Soludo applauded Bishop Nwokolo for his apostolic impact within the state and across the world, and prayed that God gives him more strength and wisdom to continue his good work in the vineyard of the Lord. The governor wished him a happy birthday, saying that he is an exceptional man of God whom the ANAMBRA are proud of, noting that the people of the state deeply appreciate him for being a blessing to many others across the globe. Governor Soludo wished Bishop Nwokolo long life and many more years of sound health as he blossoms in the Lord's vineyard. The Anambra State Ministry of Women and Social Welfare, in collaboration with the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption RULAC, have begun a familiarization tour of community children homes in the state. The tour aims at observing the level of compliance to the Anambra State Child's Right Law 2004 by the homes, to inspect their surroundings and how the children's welfare are being attended to. The Commissioner of Women and Social Welfare, Mrs. Ifi Obinabo, kicked off the tour with a visit to Belong Memorial Orphanage, Nimo, Blessed Nise Orphanage Foundation, Nise, Divine Mercy Compassion Home, Amobia, Faith Community Children's Home, AWKA, and Tender Love Community Children's Home, AWKA. Onyinye Agobeze has details.
During her inspection, Commissioner Obinabo observed that despite the neatness of some homes, they were not well ventilated, and advised that more efforts should be made to create a more orderly environment in order to avoid disease outbreaks. The Commissioner also listens to the various challenges faced by the home proprietors, such as lack of funds and logistics, and assured them that the government will look into them. In an interview, Mrs. Nkechi Anazodo, head of Department Child Development, Ministry of Women and Social Welfare, stated that after the exercise, standard guiding policies will be drawn to serve as a reference on how the care homes will carry out their various activities. Mrs. Anazodo, however, warned that any home that fails to follow the policies outlined will be penalized.
We have visited some homes, and I think I would say they have not done badly anyway. Some of them they have tried. Some of their environments very clean. And some of the homes that we have visited that did have some challenges or some areas where they are not doing well, we have tried to correct them, give them a solution to such problems.
In their separate speeches, Mr. Emeka Ejide and Mrs. Hope Okoye, chairpersons of the Anambra State Child Rights Law Implementation Committee, and Mrs. Lovett Onyedilefu, chairperson of the Anambra State Child Protection Network, while noting that the goal of the exercise was to identify lapses in the homes and offer the ministry technical assistance to bring them up to standard, said the lapses ranged from overcrowding, understaffing, to a lack of managerial capacity.
Said earlier, what we intend to achieve is for an improved service delivery for the well-being of our children, to see that our children in Anambra State, as the Child Right Law Implementation Committee, known as the State Committee, part of the roles and responsibility of this committee is for the protection and safety of our children and for us to monitor the homes in the state.
We have the issue of care. most of the homes are understaffed. You see, when the best ratio is supposed to be 1:4. Maximums 1:1 carer to 5 children, maximums. But here we have seen as much as 1:15. So they are really understaffed. They are doing a great work because they are just assisting the government to take care of those children. And because the state do not have shelter, we have a lot of the children with shelter needs being pushed back to the orphanages too. So that's the greatest challenge we have seen. And besides, we are going to have a roundtable discussion with the Honorable Commissioner of Men Affairs, and then we'll come out with a joint guideline and procedure in terms of reference for all the homes.
The inspection will cover the 40 registered Anambra State Community Children's Home. In AWKA, I am Onyinye Agubeze reporting for ABS News.
The Anglican Men's Fellowship of AGOTA Diocese joined their counterparts across the world to mark the 2022 Father's Sunday. Father's Sunday among the Anglican faithful is a day set aside to recognize and appreciate the contributions of fathers in the development of homes and society, especially their works in the growth of the church. Correspondent Blessing Uchendo filed in this report, taken from here.
In a church service to mark the event held at St. Silas New Jerusalem Church, Umuchu, Agwata local government area, the Anglican Bishop of Agwata Diocese, Right Reverend Samuel Ezofo, in a sermon, charged fathers to be alive to their leadership roles, especially to their families. He asked them to emulate the biblical King David, whom he described as a skillful, sincere, and prayerful leader. Bishop Ezofo, who maintained that it is a great honor for one to be a father, charged fathers to take full ownership of their families in order to help build decent and God-fearing society. In his remarks, the vicar of St. Silas New Jerusalem Church, Umuchu, Reverend Thank God AWKA, who thanked the bishop for choosing the church for this year's Diocesan Father's Sunday, reminded fathers of the need to be role models to both their families and the larger society.
A one-day empowerment training for widows and single mothers has ended in AWKA with a call on them to build confidence and determination to take charge of any responsibility confronting them. The empowerment training, which was organized by FEATURE, Holds True Value Impact Foundation, was aimed at changing the narrative of widows and single mothers to fulfill their life aspirations. Amaka Chibuzokoye has details.
Addressing the women, the executive director of the foundation, Mrs. Ncheta Chidubem Chinemere, said the foundation has the mandate to undertake the task of all-round human development targeting teenagers, youths, orphans, women and single mothers, and to offer them platforms to become resourceful champions of community and nation building. Mrs. Chidubem Chinemere, while dwelling on the theme of the training, said that it was tailored to reorder the participants' mental, spiritual and physical abilities in the right direction and to empower the women with sustainable skills that will enable them elevate their mental and physical abilities so as to improve their essence of living and make sustainable impact.
We imparted them on agricultural skills, knowledge, legal rights, and other wealth creation ideas that can help them to be comfortable. That they take down all that they have learned today and don't keep the knowledge in your brain or your heart. Make sure you engage your hands to work. Because if you leave it today, tomorrow, the next day, you forget and you're tired, you don't want to continue. But the moment they get home and start working on what they've been informed, what they've been taught, what they've been trained, they will go ahead and they will be.
A resource person at the program, Venerable Paul Umokoli, who spoke on the theme Wealth Creation for Widows, encouraged women to engage in meaningful endeavors.
As a movement, the greatest problem ihe kacha enye onye ọbụla widow nsogbu n'ihe gbasara ego. The greatest problem facing the widows in our time is lack of wealth. Massive movement. Because only when we are for this, ije for this. Mana only so we can go for the national when we go to ije for the initial no for the greatest problem is so good and location as a widow for lack of money.
On her part, a legal practitioner, Mrs. Faith Nwabachili, exposed the women on the ways forward when their rights are being abused. Another resource person at the event, Mrs. Blessing Achebe, asked the women to have a financial goal and desist from depending on people. In her remark, the Director of Administration of the Foundation, Mr. Chidubem Nwachinemere, maintained that they are passionate about women, hence the need to train and encourage them.
Passionate and desperate about the rates at which some widows are facing marginalization. Some of them are not being properly taken care of. Some of them are going through hard times and they are having issues in training their children. So we felt that it was needful and necessity was laid upon the foundation as part of the programs and projects we run as an organization. So what we intend doing is to empower them with skills, knowledge. We are currently changing the narrative of widows being pitiful, being those that you pity. We are changing that to say that they could be rightly empowered, they could live their life comfortably like every other woman and every other citizen in Anambra State.
In Awka, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The federal government has signed a tripartite agreement with the World Bank and the French Development Agency to commit an envelope to the tune of $575 million for the construction of rural roads in 13 states in Nigeria. The project will see the construction of rural roads covering a total distance of 53,730 kilometers between March 2021 to 2026. The National Coordinator Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, Aminu Mohammed, said 12 of the 13 states had received the take-off disbursement. Mohammed also disclosed that the International Labour Organization had expressed its readiness to offer both financial and technical assistance to the rural roads project, adding that the World Bank would fast-track no objection for the intervention. Ahmed urged the state to comply with the disbursement drawn-down procedure to avoid possible backlash. The federal government has called for a unified tax regime for Nigeria's transportation system. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transport, Mandalina Jani, who made the disclosure in Abuja, said there is a need to find a way to make transport business attractive in Nigeria and create jobs for the teeming youthful population, which is one of President Muhammadu Buhari's mandate to every sector of the economy. According to her, going forward, local government areas, council and state should follow best practices and procedures to determine taxes with consideration for safety. Ajani said the practice of throwing wooden planks decorated with nails to stop moving vehicles on highways is unacceptable. She says sensitization of vehicle owners and operators on the required levies and charges should be encouraged while leveraging technology for a single window payment for taxes and services. On the foreign scene, Germany's econ minister says the country will limit the use of natural gas for electricity production amid concerns about possible shortages caused by a cut in supplies from Russia. The move comes after Russia sharply reduced flows of natural gas in its pipelines to Western Europe, driving up energy prices. Russia's state gas giant Gazprom said the supply reductions via the Nord Stream pipeline are the result of a repair work by European Union officials, believing Moscow is punishing allies of Ukraine, where Russian forces launched an invasion in February. Berlin's temporary recourse to coal marks a turnaround for Chancellor Olaf Scholz's ruling coalition of Social Democrats, Greens and the Liberal FDP, which has vowed to wind down its coal usage by 2030. The government has insisted that Russian gas will be needed for a while until alternative sources of energy, such as liquefied natural gas brought in by ship. Over the past months, the German government has taken measures to fill gas shortage facilities to 90% capacity by November to ensure gas is available as a heating fuel through the European winter. Over now to sports. Super Falcons captain Onome Ebi has assured Nigerians that the senior women's national team is focused on the twin objectives of winning a ticket to the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup finals and retaining the Women's African Cup of Nations title in Morocco next month. Cup holders Nigeria and 11 other countries will contend for the coveted Women AFCON trophy in the North African Kingdom from July 2 to 23. All four semi-finalists in the competition are guaranteed berths in 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, the biggest ever in the history of the women's game, that will be staged in Australia and New Zealand a year on. Nigeria has won 9 of the 11 championships contested so far, done every other year since 1998, save for the 2020 edition that was obliterated by the coronavirus pandemic. AB, who had played in 5 FIFA World Cup finals since the 4th finals in the United States of America in 2003, was among 19 early arrivals at the training camp commenced in Abuja. Remember that you can follow news and program on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television AWKA. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Governor Soludo has commended contributions of Bishop Nwokolo to work of evangelism. Empowerment training for widows, single mothers has ended in AWKA. Federal government is partnering World Bank French Development Agency on rural road projects. Germany is planning to limit use of natural gas for electricity production. Here's a special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround, maintenance of the ANAMBRA state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news this morning. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Good morning.